Julian was preparing for our one-year anniversary with great fanfare, planning to propose to me that day. On the anniversary itself, he arrived late and, in front of everyone, showed off his marriage certificate with his childhood friend. Sorry, I took a detour to get a marriage license. My childhood friend has depression, and she would have made a scene if I hadn't agreed. Then he took out a ring, knelt, and proposed to me. Iris, will you marry me? He offered no explanation, just proposed as if nothing had happened. I found it all utterly meaningless and booked a flight out of the country. Julian, who had always expected me to be the first to back down, finally messaged me after I had been gone for a year. Iris, you win. What are you up to? His arch-nemesis snatched my phone and sent him a picture of our family of 3, in postpartum confinement. I heard that day, the crown prince of the capital's most prominent family, in a fit of rage, smashed everything he could get his hands on. Julian, your lips are so sweet. What have you been secretly eating? The dim private room was filled with Chloe's coquettish voice. Julian, who had been looking at Chloe with an adoring expression, finally noticed the sudden silence in the room and saw me, pushed to the floor. He cleared his throat and let go of her small hand. Stop messing around. It's your sister-in-law's birthday today. Chloe pouted, feigning innocence. Oh, surely sister-in-law isn't such a spoil sport. Her words made everyone's gaze turn strange, because this kind of thing happened often, and every time, I would cry, make a scene, and threaten to cause a huge spectacle. Someone had already taken out their phone, ready to record my meltdown, but I disappointed them. I quietly took off my engagement ring and walked over to Chloe. Julian, thinking I was about to do something to her, stepped in front of her protectively. But I gently took Chloe's hand and slipped the $300,000 diamond ring onto her finger. It fit surprisingly well. I smiled faintly. Don't forget to send an invitation to the witness of your love when you get married. Everyone was stunned by my actions. Julian, in particular, felt he had lost face. Iris Thorne. It was just a game. Do you have to be like this? I smiled faintly. I know. I was just trying to make it more fun for you all. The color visibly drained from Julian's face. Just then, Chloe tugged at his sleeve. All right, Julian. It was my fault. I shouldn't have played around like that on my sister-in-law's birthday. With that, she took off the ring and threw it right at my face. Clink. The ring landed on the table. Since you don't want it, then it's meaningless. I rubbed my temples and casually tossed the ring into the trash can. Iris, are you crazy? That's your and Julian's engagement ring. Quick, quick. Get it out for her. Why is this trash can so disgusting? Everyone frantically started emptying the trash to find it. But what could be in a club's trash can? Fruit peels, cigarette butts, and even someone's vomit. In the dim light, no one could find the small ring. Chloe, seeing the commotion, started to panic. She clung to Julian's arm, her eyes welling up with tears. Julian, I really didn't mean it. Is my sister-in-law angry with me? But we've always played like this since we were kids. The next second, Julian patted her hand. Stop looking. If it's lost, it's lost. Everyone froze. An awkward silence filled the room. Julian's gaze was icy. When he looked at me, it was as if his eyes were daggers, ready to pierce me until I was bleeding. Iris Thorne, you were the one who wanted to play the game, and you're the one who can't take it. Now everyone's unhappy because of you. Are you satisfied? My chest heaved. It felt as if a large hand was squeezing my neck, the pain in my heart making it hard to breathe. It was Chloe who pushed me and kissed my fiancé. I had tolerated them, yet somehow, it was my fault. In the past, I would have argued with her until I was blue in the face. But now, I just felt exhausted. I turned, grabbed my bag, and said, I'm leaving. You all, have fun. After I left, someone whispered in my defense. It's Iris' birthday today. That was a bit much, wasn't it? Julian glanced at the speaker, his voice tinged with impatience. Leave her be. She throws a tantrum every time. It's about time she learned to control herself. When he turned to look at Chloe, the frost in his eyes melted into a pool of spring water. Perfect timing. Chloe was just promoted to CFO. This cake can be to congratulate her on her new position. Soon, the room was lively again. The people who had been about to play the birthday song quickly changed it to a song celebrating Chloe's career success. I stood at the door, listening, and couldn't help but feel the irony. A warm tear slid down my cheek and landed on my shoe. The tear was salty, but my heart felt no bitterness. I had been numb for a long time, coming from a scholarly family. I had admired my older brother Julian since I was young. Everywhere he went, he was praised. At 16, he could already manage a company on his own, handling everything with impeccable skill. At that time, I desperately wanted to be a part of his world, but I was timid, and my awkwardness made me miss one opportunity after another. I could only watch from the corner as the lively and cheerful Chloe made him happy. Later, I studied with all my might. When I saw my name ranked next to his, I was ecstatic. But I wasn't as likable as Chloe. Between Julian and me, we were, at most, strangers who nodded to each other at school. It wasn't until we both got into the same university, and Chloe went to a regular college and got a boyfriend there, that I finally mustered the courage to confess my feelings. At that time, I felt that fate was on my side. He said yes. From then on, every part of my life revolved around him. When he decided to give up his studies abroad to take over the family business, I also turned down an offer from overseas to stay with him. My professor tried to persuade me for a long time, showing me examples of senior students who had returned from abroad to great fame and fortune, with salaries in the millions. But I, blinded by love, just blushed and refused. I just want a simple, happy life with him. I gave everything I could, asking only for his love in return. But he never once considered my feelings. In the biting cold wind, I took out my phone and called my professor. Professor. Before I could finish, my voice broke. Is that you, little Iris? Just that one sentence, and my eyes welled up. I couldn't hold back my sobs. Professor, I was wrong. A sigh came from the other end. Don't cry. I told you before. As long as you're willing, there will always be a place for you on my project. I smiled through my tears. This kind old man was always thinking of me, always leaving a way out for me. Professor, I've made up my mind. I'm coming to join you on the project abroad. The professor was delighted, repeating good several times. We leave in 2 weeks. In that time, you can settle your affairs at home. Say a proper goodbye to your parents. We probably won't be back for 3 years. After hanging up, I took a deep breath. I glanced up at the private room in the club, the lights flickering. Julian was like that expensive ring, once thrown in the trash, covered in filth. No matter how expensive, it was now dirty. For some reason, I felt a sense of relief. This relationship had always been one-sided. He had always been cold to me. I thought that was just his personality, or that he was like that with everyone. Now I knew there was someone special, and only Chloe was special. No one else would do. I shouldn't force it. It would only end in pain for both of us. I walked away without looking back to the home Julian and I shared. It was filled with the traces of our life together, and with my all-encompassing love for him. I had once been so full of hope, decorating this place bit by bit. I had even kept the pull tabs from the soda cans we had when we ate out, with the date marked next to them. July 7th, 2 years ago. Julian and I went to my favorite restaurant. I wanted to take a picture, but he didn't agree. So I brought back the pull tab from his drink as a small memento. Looking at it now, it was ridiculous. Perhaps this was fate's punishment for a love-struck fool, to make me taste the bitterness of love. I turned away, no longer looking at those things, and collapsed onto the bed, exhausted. All I wanted now was to rest, to gather my strength for the trip abroad in 2 weeks. In the middle of the night, I heard a sound from downstairs, the sound of a door opening, then closing, very loudly. The person clearly didn't care if anyone was sleeping. I opened my eyes. I knew it was Julian. He always did this, waking me up this way. And then I would run down to the living room to make him a late-night snack. If he had been drinking, I would make him hangover soup. If he had worked late, I would make him a late supper. In short, I would take care of everything. Even if we were fighting, he would still use this method, trying to make me serve him like a maid. Not anymore. I wouldn't be so pathetic, so willing to be hurt. I grabbed the headphones by my bed, and with the soft music, I fell back asleep. I thought it would be hard to sleep, because habit is a powerful thing. I thought I would be thinking about him all night, but to my surprise, I fell asleep quickly and didn't wake up until 10 in the morning. There was a noise from downstairs. Was he still here? That was strange. Didn't he have to pick up Chloe for work every morning? I went downstairs. It was him. He was clumsily making breakfast. He turned, saw me, and said coldly, "Come here and cook. I'm not used to going to work without breakfast. I've already let you sleep in." I laughed, crossing my arms and looking at him from the stairs. "Julian, are you out of your mind? Am I your maid? Why should I cook for you? If you want to eat, make it yourself." His face turned livid. "Iris Thorne, that's enough. How long are you going to keep this up? Everyone was having a good time yesterday, and you had to ruin it. What more do you want?" "So it was my fault," I said, word for word. "My fiancé, in front of me, his fiancé, kissed another woman. And it was my fault. I should post this online and ask everyone if I'm being too petty." "Enough." He was clearly panicked. "If you post something like that, aren't you ashamed?" "I am. If you're not going to cook, then don't." He angrily grabbed his coat and left. So he knew it was wrong. He knew everything. It was just that, because it was me, he didn't care. A wave of bitterness washed over me again. Even though I knew I didn't love him anymore, the heart and body that had loved him for so many years did not seem to obey me. It's okay. Time is the best healer. With enough time, even the deepest feelings will become just a memory. I quickly got ready and went to the company. This company belonged to him. But a few years ago, it had faced a major crisis. I was the one who ran around, even drinking until I got a bleeding ulcer, to secure investors and save it. It was from that time that I got a 20% stake in the company. As a shareholder, I needed to settle everything before I left. The moment I entered the company, the employees all looked at me, silent. They had all witnessed what happened last night. I ignored them and went straight to the top floor. His secretary, Liam, stopped me with a bitter smile. Miss Thorne, could you please not go in right now? Mr. Croft is in a meeting." "Is that so?" I was about to leave, but the office door opened. It wasn't a business partner who came out, but Chloe. When she saw me, she raised an eyebrow, her eyes full of provocation, but her words were sickly sweet. "Sister-in-law, you're here. Julian is inside." She touched her pink lips suggestively. "Sister-in-law, are you still angry about yesterday? Julian and I have known each other for so many years. We've always been like this. You can't just stop him from seeing me because you're getting married, can you?" I couldn't be bothered with her. I called out, "Julian, do you have a minute? I need to talk to you." His impatient voice came from inside. "Come in." I walked past Chloe and into the office. Chloe suddenly let out a cry and stumbled backwards on her high heels. "Sister-in-law, even if you're angry, you can't just push me. It hurts." I turned to look at her. Her eyes were red, tears streaming down her face. I was sure I hadn't touched her. Her acting was truly impressive. The Oscars were missing out. Julian rushed out and put his arm around her. "What's wrong? Does it still hurt?" Chloe bit her lip, feigning strength. "It doesn't hurt, Julian. Don't blame my sister-in-law. I know she's still angry about yesterday. If bullying me makes her feel better, I'm willing to take it. I don't want you two to break up because of me." He immediately looked at me, his eyes like daggers. "Iris Thorne, why are you so vicious? Yesterday is over, and you're still holding a grudge. Apologize." His words couldn't hurt me anymore. My heart would ache, but my mind would not. "Julian, I didn't push her. It was all her own act. Chloe is terrified of pain. Why would she hurt herself just to trick me?" Liam, the secretary, cleared his throat and couldn't help but say, "Mr. Croft, I was watching the whole time. Miss Thorne really didn't push Miss White." Chloe's tears fell even faster. "Julian, I know no one likes me. I'll just go." The implication was that Liam would side with me because we were in cahoots. Liam's face was a mask of frustration. In the end, he said nothing. Julian didn't want to drag it out. He took Chloe to the elevator and whispered, "It's okay. I'll go buy you your favorite little cake." Chloe finally smiled through her tears and leaned against him. "Thank you, Julian. You're so good to me." After a full half hour, he finally returned. He impatiently loosened his tie. "What did you want to see me about?" I took out the share certificate. "This is my 20% stake in the company. I want to sell it to you. Are you buying?" He was stunned. What do you mean? You want to sell your shares? Yes. This is ridiculous. You're going too far. After everything. You're doing something this stupid. What are you thinking? We're already engaged. What more do you want? I retorted. I should be the one asking you that. Are you buying the shares or not? If not, I'll sell them to someone else. Don't waste my time. I'm very busy. I was leaving the country soon. I only had 2 weeks to get everything in order. I had to settle my company affairs, say goodbye to my parents, and see a few friends before leaving with no regrets. He was speechless. Fine. I'll buy them. Don't you regret it? I proposed a reasonable price. He transferred the money without a second thought. The look in his eyes clearly said he thought I would regret it, that he was waiting for me to come begging. But he was going to be disappointed. I went back to my office and started packing. I was mainly in charge of the project department, and all the employees there were hired by me. The team leader came over. Miss Thorne, what are you doing? I'm resigning. I hadn't mentioned resigning before because I was afraid he wouldn't buy my shares. Now that I had sold them, I had nothing to worry about. The team leader was shocked. What? You're resigning? Yes. I only took my personal belongings, leaving everything else. You were all there yesterday. You heard what happened. Julian and I have broken up. If I stay here, it will just make things awkward for everyone. Miss Thorne, are you thinking of starting a new company? Can you hire us? They had stayed because of me. They had no love for him. A man who treats his fiancé so poorly. How could he be expected to treat his employees well? That was just a pipe dream. No, I don't have any plans for that right now. But maybe in the future. You all work hard. I'm leaving. I left the office with my things. As I walked out, I ran into him. He looked at the things in my arms. A rare look of panic on his face. Iris Thorne. What are you doing? Resigning. By the way, I've already sent my resignation to your email. No, you can't resign. If you leave, who will take your place? According to the rules, you have to give 15 days notice. I looked at him. Julian, have you forgotten? When I first joined the company, we never signed a contract, and you never paid into my social security. So I'm not an employee. I can leave whenever I want. If you try to stop me, don't blame me for reporting you for not signing employment contracts with your employees. That's illegal. He had clearly not expected me to be so ruthless. Do you have to be like this? Yes, I do. I bristled like a porcupine. Not for any other reason than to protect myself from any more hurt. I had been hurt enough. If a person doesn't even love themselves, how can they expect love from others? I learned this lesson too late, but it's never too late. Fine. Iris Thorne, you can have your way. You'll regret this sooner or later. I walked past him and said one last thing. The one who will regret it is you. My unconditional love. He didn't want it. He had to go looking for a woman who would destroy other people's relationships. He's the one who should regret it. I left the company and breathed in the fresh air. I felt alive again. I took my things home, dragged my suitcase, and went straight to my parents' house. Ever since I got together with him, I had lost touch with my parents. I was always so busy with work. And when I got home, I had to take care of him. I felt a pang of sadness. How did I end up like this? Not only did I find a scumbag, but I also became a neglectful daughter. In the afternoon, I finally arrived home. My parents were overjoyed to see me. My mother hugged me, her eyes red. Why did you suddenly decide to come back? You didn't even call. We haven't cooked anything. You love my sweet and sour pork. I'll go buy some now. My father was as stern as ever, but his eyes were soft. Next time, call before you come. Your mother and I have to go to the school in a bit. It's a good thing you came back early, or you would have missed us. My parents were both university professors. I knew they were busy, so I had specifically chosen a Friday. Mom, don't worry about it. I'll cook your favorite dishes today. Before I came home, I had made a detour to the market. They had always cooked my favorites. Now it was my turn to cook theirs. The food was on the table. I had just sat down when my phone rang. Seeing the number, I declined the call. My mother looked at me with concern. Was that Julian? Why didn't you answer? Are you two fighting? Mom, I knew I couldn't hide it for long. I told them what had happened. My father was so angry he smashed his favorite teacup. That Julian, he's a monster. How could he do such a thing? You were raised by us with so much love. It's one thing for him not to cherish you, but to treat you like this. Yes, We're not getting married. My mother was sobbing. My poor baby. You've suffered so much. I wiped her tears. Mom. Dad. I've moved on. I came back this time to say goodbye. In 2 weeks. I'm going abroad for further studies with my professor. I probably won't be back for 3 years. My father was very supportive. Yes. You should have gone long ago. But it's not too late. Don't worry about us. As long as you're happy. We're happy. Mom. Dad, please don't tell him about this. I'm worried he'll try to stop me. After all these years together, I knew him. He was very proud. Now that our engagement was public, he certainly wouldn't let me leave. And our engagement party was the day after I was supposed to leave. All these things were obstacles. My mother nodded repeatedly. Don't worry. We won't tell anyone. After dinner, I went for a walk with my parents. It was a fulfilling day. That night, back in my own room, I was filled with a sense of reluctance and sadness. My room was just as I had left it, clean and dust-free. My mother must have come in to clean it every day, thinking of me, and I hadn't spent enough time with them. My mind and heart completely consumed by that worthless scumbag. Speak of the devil. I heard his voice from downstairs. Auntie, I'm here to see Iris. Iris is already asleep. My mother's tone was cold. Whatever it is, we can talk about it tomorrow. It's not appropriate to visit so late. You shouldn't come so late next time. He laughed awkwardly. Auntie, Iris and I had a little disagreement. Mom, I'll talk to him. I didn't want the precious time I had left to be ruined by him. My mother looked at me with concern but still went upstairs. He changed his tune, his voice gentle. Iris, I don't agree with you resigning. I was wrong about what happened. Will you come back with me? I shook my head. You weren't wrong. I was. I was too obsessed with our relationship. That's why I ended up so hurt. I could feel that he was really panicking. In the past, no matter what he did, I would always be the one to apologize and try to please him. This time, not only had I sold my shares, but I had also resigned. In his eyes, this was almost impossible, and I wasn't waiting at home for him to come back, or throwing a tantrum. I was just calmly doing what I wanted to do. In the past, my world was just him. Now, my world was starting to have me in it. Julian. From the moment I took off the engagement ring, we broke up. You can be with Chloe in peace. I won't make a scene anymore. He tried to grab my hand, but I dodged. You didn't come home last night. Aren't you afraid I really did something with Chloe? Look at him. So vile. He knew it would hurt me, but he still had to bring it up. Just to make me jealous. To make me go back to the way I was. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want with her. I wish you well. Iris Thorne. You weren't like this before. Julian Croft. You weren't like this before either. I rubbed my temples. Tired. I'm very tired. Let's just leave it at that. He gritted his teeth. If you make me leave now, I'll go to Chloe. She wanted to have a drink with me tonight. I waved my hand dismissively. Go ahead. I hope you have a good time. He took a few quick steps and blocked my path again. Alcohol is dangerous. You know that. If I drink and do something impulsive, don't blame me. You were the one who wouldn't come back with me. He was still trying to provoke me, to make me go crazy like before. That would make him feel better, because he didn't want me to be out of his control. Julian, how many times do I have to say it? I don't care. Drink as much as you want, with whoever you want. Not just Chloe. You could find a new lover, and I wouldn't care. He was completely panicked, but his long-held dominance made him unable to let go of his pride. Fine. Iris Thorne. Don't you regret this? He seemed to only know how to use this phrase to threaten me. I pulled my hand away coldly. I don't regret it. I only regret being with you. Wasting so many good years. He lowered his voice. Don't forget the engagement party in 2 weeks. If you don't show up, you can forget about marrying me. I walked away without looking back. For the next 2 days, I stayed at my parents' house. He didn't come to find me again. On the 3rd night, I received a message from an unknown number. It came with 2 photos. One was of him lying in bed. The other was of Chloe nestled in his arms, looking shy. After I saw them, the message was set to self-destruct. This Chloe had some brains. She knew not to leave any evidence. I acted as if I didn't know anything and continued to arrange my final days in the country. Half an hour later, my phone rang. I answered, and her voice came through. Sister-in-law, let's meet. We can talk. Clear up any misunderstandings. How about it? Not interested. I have nothing to say to you. Julian is all yours now. Sister-in-law, are you sure you don't want to talk? Your family heirloom jade bracelet is in my hands. Only then did I remember. I did have a jade bracelet, given to me by my mother. I had given it to him to have it maintained. I thought it was still being serviced, but I never expected it to be in her hands. I had no choice but to agree to meet, but I wore a micro camera, just in case she tried to pull any tricks. In the coffee shop, Chloe was wearing a dress, her hair in a high ponytail. Her features were pretty. She looked like an innocent college student. She had what it took to make him fall for her, and I was the opposite. I had long since passed the age of pretending to be young. I usually dressed in a more mature style, and my wavy hair had been the same for years. I sat down across from her. Let's talk. What do you want to talk about? I'm very busy right now. I have other things to do. Now that I was back, it was time to see my old friends. Ever since I got together with him, my social circle had shrunk. It wasn't that I didn't want to maintain my friendships, but he wouldn't let me. He would always give me a lot of work to do, squeezing out all my personal time, so that in the end, my world was just him. In a way, that's a form of emotional manipulation. Chloe looked at me, raised an eyebrow, and took out a lab report from her bag. Sister-in-law, I'm pregnant. The baby is Julian's. I'm already a month along. I hope you can voluntarily withdraw from this relationship. Cancel the engagement party, and let us be together. Actually, Julian and I have always been very close. If it weren't for you, we would have been together. You've stolen him for so many years. It's time to give him back. But before you cancel the engagement, you need to pay back all the money he has spent on you. I laughed. I never knew someone could be so shameless. When I got together with Julian, he was single, and you had your own boyfriend. What do you mean I stole him from you? And now, we are the ones who are engaged. You are the third party. In our relationship, I was the one who gave more. He did spend some money on me, but that was what I deserved. Chloe sneered, looking at her freshly manicured nails. If you don't pay it back, then I'll just have to expose you online as a gold digger. Don't you regret it then? Haven't you been following the news? The law has already stated that even between a boyfriend and girlfriend, money spent can be reclaimed. When this gets out, you'll be a public enemy. I'll give you a week. If you don't pay it back, then I'll just have to ruin your reputation. All of Julian's money is mine. You have no right to it. I didn't want to waste any more time. Give me the bracelet. No. If you don't pay me back, this bracelet will be used as collateral. That is my personal property. If you keep it, you are breaking the law. Do you understand? And this bracelet is worth $20,000. You'd better think carefully. Chloe sneered. $20,000. Who are you trying to scare? Anyway, I've said my piece. If you don't pay up, you'll see what happens. I knew that she would do what she said. I had already seen her ability to twist the truth, so I had to start gathering evidence to defend my honor and innocence. Since I couldn't get the bracelet back, I left the coffee shop. When he wasn't home, I went back and installed a surveillance camera in a hidden spot. Then I went to find my best friend, Maya. When I got together with him, she was the only one who didn't approve. We had a huge fight over it. Looking back now, she was right. This apology was 5 years overdue. I bought Maya's favorite sunflowers and stood outside her office building. At 5:30 in the afternoon, she walked out of the office, holding her bag. When she saw me, she froze. Iris, is that you? She was still the same, not changed at all. I thought back on all our memories together and couldn't help but get teary-eyed. Maya, it's me. I'm sorry. She rushed forward and threw her arms around me. Iris, it's really you. You came to find me. I thought you would never think of me again. We caught up for a long time, then found a nearby restaurant to eat and talk. Maya, after we fought, I've always regretted it. I ordered gifts for you for your birthday and every holiday, but you never replied. I thought you didn't want to forgive me. Maya's eyes widened. Gifts? What gifts? I never received anything. If I had, why wouldn't I forgive you? We've been friends for over a decade. It was just one fight. Why would I be so petty? I was also in disbelief. After confirming several times, I was sure Maya really hadn't received any gifts. There was only one possibility. He had intercepted them. Only he knew about it, and only he could have done it. Maya was furious, slamming her hand on the table. That Julian. What does he think he's doing? Does he not want us to be friends? What right does he have to stop you from having friends? Iris. I know if I say bad things about him, you'll get angry again. But what he did was wrong. He doesn't respect you. I know. I gave a bitter smile. Julian and we've broken up. No, that's not right. I broke up with him. I held up my hand, showing her my bare finger. I've already thrown away the engagement ring. In 10 days, I'm going abroad for further studies. I'll be back in 3 years. I thought she would be overjoyed, but she wasn't. Her eyes were red. She just looked at me with pity. Iris, if you're willing to break up with him, you must have been deeply hurt. In that moment, I was so glad to have a friend like her. The world had been good to me. It was just one bad encounter with a man. Everything else was lucky. Maya waved her hand. Let's not talk about that heartbreaking man. Come on. I'll take you shopping. When a woman wants to be happy, she needs to shop. We went on a shopping spree, but it was mostly her buying things. You're going to the UK, right? The weather there is quite gloomy, and it rains a lot. You need to pack some rain gear. This jacket is great. And you need to take some of these pain relief patches. Didn't you used to have knee pain? These are really effective. Take a few more, in case you can't find them there. This hat is also good. It can block the rain. And this. And this. By the time we left the mall, it was already dark. We went for a late-night snack with our bags and then went home. Maya had bought a small apartment and decorated it very cozily. Just like in our student days, we lay in the same bed, talking about old times. I also told her what had happened with him. She held my hand. Our Iris is so good. He will regret it. And what is that, Chloe? Just a green tea bitch. She can't compare to you at all. Don't worry. Even if they do get together, it won't last. A man who cheats on his fiancé and a woman who's a homewrecker. It's bound to happen again. Cheating is either 0 times or countless times. Even though you're going abroad, I'm still here. If there are any developments, I'll let you know immediately. For the next 2 days, Maya and I were inseparable. She even took her annual leave just to be with me. Now, there were only 7 days left until I left. My professor had already booked my plane ticket. I went back to the home I had shared with him one more time. This time, I was going to pack the rest of my luggage. Either sell it or give it away. Most importantly, I had to get my family heirloom bracelet back. As soon as I walked in, a strong smell of alcohol hit me. The once tidy living room was a mess. Several people were lying on the sofa, all employees from his company who often drank with him. I frowned and stepped over the trash, waking one of them up. Mrs. Thorne, you're back. I didn't speak, just walked straight to the bedroom. The employee quickly stopped me. Mrs. Thorne, the boss is still asleep. He was up very late yesterday. You should probably not disturb him. I shook him off. Get out of my way. The employee reluctantly stepped back. Well, at least he had tried. I went to the bedroom door, although I had already guessed what I would find inside. When I opened the door, my heart still ached, as if it had been pierced by countless needles. It turns out, seeing them together with my own eyes, I would still be sad. The bed that was supposed to be mine and his was now occupied by him and her. They were sleeping in each other's arms. She was only wearing a slip dress, practically naked, and he was the same. They were holding each other so tightly, like a pair of lovebirds. I didn't disturb them. I just calmly started packing. He opened his eyes and saw me. Without a second thought, he pushed her away. Iris, don't misunderstand. We just drank too much and fell asleep together. Nothing happened. She was still groggy, being pushed away. She rolled onto the floor and cried out in pain. But his eyes were fixed on me. Not even a glance at her. I just said and continued packing. You two go back to sleep. I won't disturb you. Seeing that I didn't care, he grabbed my arm. Where are you packing to go? Home. I wouldn't tell him I was going abroad, or there would be more trouble. He seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, probably thinking I was just throwing a tantrum. It's good to go back for a few days, but don't mind what happened today. Chloe and I are completely innocent. Innocent enough to have a child. I found him ridiculous. She got up pitifully and leaned against him. Julian, you pushed me so hard. It hurts. Sister-in-law, don't misunderstand. We really just slept together for one night. Julian, look, I'm hurt. Her knee was red and a little scraped. Seeing this, he stopped paying attention to me and started looking for the first aid kit. The things in the house were all put away by me. He couldn't find it, so he had to ask me, "Where's the first aid kit?" "I don't know. Find it yourself." "Iris, what time is it for you to be throwing a tantrum? Don't you see she's hurt? I'll deal with her injury first. Then I'll explain everything to you." She looked at me smugly. "Sister-in-law, I know you hate me, but if a wound like this isn't treated, it could leave a scar. How will I ever get married then?" "Julian, forget it. Sister-in-law is angry with me. I'll just let it hurt. That way, she'll feel better." Seeing that he was about to blame me again, I immediately said, "What about the bracelet I asked you to get maintained? Give it back to me." His face was sheepish. "I sent it for maintenance. I haven't gotten it back yet." "Is that so? I heard it's on someone else's wrist." "That's my property. Give it back to me." He subconsciously looked at her. She put on a pitiful act and didn't mention returning the bracelet. "Julian, that was a gift from you." "Iris, Chloe's birthday was a while ago, and she liked that bracelet. I've already given it to her. If you like, I'll buy you a better one. That is my property. How could you give it to someone else without my permission? Give it back to me now." She pouted. "Sister-in-law, he has already spent so much money on you, and he's even going to marry you. Why are you so hung up on a bracelet? It wouldn't look good if outsiders found out." "Julian, there are still people outside. It's just a bracelet." He didn't want to lose face. "Yes, I'll just buy you a new one. How can you ask for a gift back? No matter what. She calls you sister-in-law. You should give her a gift." "That sister-in-law is quite expensive. For just one word, I have to give her something worth $20,000. He was even more displeased, thinking I was being unreasonable. "Why are you so obsessed with money now? Isn't it just $20,000? I'll buy you a $40,000 one later." "Okay." "No." I looked at him and said, word for word, "That is my family's heirloom bracelet. If anyone damages it, I will never let them go. Not even you." "Julian, I'm asking you one last time. Are you going to make her give it back?" "No." He also got angry. "Why do you have to be so attached to a dead object?" I knew I wasn't getting it back today. I was completely disappointed in him. He knew how important this bracelet was to me, yet he still gave it to another woman. A constant drip wears away a stone. Ice 3 feet thick is not frozen in a single day. The bracelet was the last straw. I had intended to part with him on good terms, for the sake of our many years together. Not to make things too ugly, but he was too much. In that case, I didn't have to be polite anymore. I dragged my suitcase and walked out. To my surprise, he actually followed me out and took out a new diamond ring. "Iris, I know a lot has happened recently, but don't worry. No one will affect our engagement party. The old ring is gone, so it's gone. This is a new one I bought. As for the bracelet, I'll buy you a better one." He tried to put it on me, but I dodged. "I don't need it." "Iris, stop messing around. My feelings for Chloe are just like a brother's. My love is for you." She was standing at the bedroom door, staring at me with a venomous look. Looking at her, I suddenly changed my mind and took the ring. "Okay, I understand." He smiled, and the look in his eyes softened. "Don't stay at your parents' house for too long. Come back tomorrow, and don't take this luggage." As he spoke, he was about to grab my suitcase. It seems he was really afraid I would leave. But also, if I were to break up with him, the engagement party couldn't go on, and he would be the one to lose face. He could accept a divorce after marriage, but not canceling the engagement party. "I'm taking this luggage to give to someone. We can buy new ones after we get married." This time, he didn't stop me. I left with my luggage smoothly. Actually, I had already packed most of my things. The things I left behind were the things I really didn't need, just like him. Left behind in the house of our past. All of this would only be a memory from now on. I had expected her to make a move, but I didn't expect it to be so fast. In just a few hours, I saw a post about me online. The poster portrayed me as a homewrecker and a gold digger who only knew how to spend men's money. In just a couple of hours, the post was filled with abusive comments. Some people even found my account and started sending me private messages. Maya, disregarding her work, came to the hotel to find me. "Iris, it must be that bitch Chloe. I'm going to get justice for you. Tell me where she is. I'm going to tear her apart today." Don't worry, I already expected she would do this. When I accepted his ring today, it made her feel threatened again. She certainly wouldn't wait a week to make a move. This was my plan, the beginning of my revenge. Maya looked at me and finally smiled. You've finally grown a backbone. When you said you were going abroad, I thought you were trying to solve the problem by running away again. This is more like it. Since they hurt you, why should you let them go? You should make them pay. If it were me, I would have ruined their reputations completely. I ignored the rumors and called my parents, telling them not to worry about the news online, that I would handle it. And I would handle it well. Let the storm rage on. If you want to use public opinion to kill someone, then you should be prepared for the backlash. I used the money I got from selling my shares to hire a very professional lawyer. I took out the evidence I had compiled. This is a list of all the expenses between me and Julian over the years. He did spend some money on me, and gave me some things, but the total is less than $10,000. But the gifts I gave him, and our living expenses, have exceeded $100,000. And I've worked at his company for 5 years without pay, bringing in no less than $5 million in investments and generating at least $3 million in profits for the company. With my abilities and position, if I were at any other company, I would be making at least $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And that's the industry low. If I were to calculate it at the high end, my monthly salary plus commission would probably be $5,000 or $6,000. Not counting anything else, just my salary would be nearly $200,000. Plus the investments I brought in and the profits I generated. It's close to $10 million. And for these 5 years, I've also been taking care of him. Practically a perfect bed mate and nanny. Seeing this evidence, the lawyer's look changed. Miss Thorne, you are truly... I know, I was a love-struck fool, but now I'm awake. Is this evidence enough? If not, I have this. I took out the surveillance footage from the house. I even got the surveillance footage from the private room at the bar that night. That kind of entertainment venue is full of hidden cameras. Voyeurism has become an industry. As long as you're willing to pay, you can get what you want. To not offend the bar owner, I will blur out the important backgrounds, as long as you can clearly see him and her. The lawyer looked at me with pity. Miss Thorne, you are the most tragic case I've ever seen. You gave your love, your money, your time, almost everything. And this is what you get. Don't worry. As a fellow woman, I'll give you a 20% discount. I will definitely handle this matter for you. There were 6 days left until I left the country. The online public opinion was still fermenting. Even in my old alumni group chat, they were discussing it. Some old classmates even messaged me privately, wanting to know the truth. I didn't reply to any of them. For safety, I didn't go out and stayed in the hotel. My phone rang. The hotel front desk's voice came through. Ma'am, a Mr. Croft would like to see you. Should I let him up? Let him up. A moment later, he arrived. I crossed my arms and stood in the doorway. What are you doing here? I saw the things online. Don't worry. I'll handle it. It's not safe for you to stay in a hotel. Come back with me for now. I don't mind. Our engagement party is still on. I felt disgusted by his hypocrisy. It's been 2 days since this blew up, and you're only now thinking of handling it. I ask you, this was Chloe's doing. What are you going to do about it? Chloe is so kind. She would never do such a thing. Iris, you can't just throw accusations at her because you don't like her. You've been too aggressive at the company in the past. You might have offended someone. You should reflect on yourself. I think this is an opportunity for you to learn to be more tactful in the future. I couldn't hold back anymore. I slapped him hard across the face. His head snapped to the side. He looked at me in disbelief. You hit me. Yes, I did. Julian, you are the last person who has the right to judge me. Who gave? And who took? You know better than anyone. Why was I so aggressive in the past? It was because you always made me be the one in front. I became like this for you. And now you're blaming me. You are truly disgusting. He licked his split lip. Iris Thorne, since you hit me, then I'm not getting involved. I'd like to see who's the one who gets embarrassed. He turned and left. I slammed the door shut. Fine. Let's see who gets embarrassed. There were 5 days left until I left. I received a call from my professor. He also knew about the online storm. Little Iris, I've been busy with my research. If an old student hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known. Don't overthink it. And don't let it affect your mood. I've already recommended you. The university here won't cancel your fellowship because of this. If you can't stay in the country, Then come over early. I'll have your senior brother book you a new ticket. No need, Professor. Let's stick to the original plan. Don't worry. I'll handle everything. His voice was full of pity. Little Iris, I know what kind of person you are. Rumors can't define you. After hanging up, my heart was warm. There are still so many people in this world who care about me. Why should I be so fixated on that filthy man? With that thought, I called my lawyer. You can release my evidence now. Don't release the videos yet. Just the financial records. Once the evidence was out, the online public opinion instantly shifted. The lawyer not only released the evidence, but also had someone track the IP address of the original poster. Sure enough, it was from Chloe's house. Now she had to publicly apologize online, admit that she had slandered me, or face a lawsuit. I opened the comments section. Wow. This sister worked for 5 years without any salary and brought in so much investment. This is true love. When will I find such a good girlfriend? This sister is so tragic. Just dump that man. This Chloe is such a green tea bitch. What childhood friend? She's just a homewrecker trying to move up. To make sure more people saw the truth, I bought a large amount of online traffic. The story continued to spread. An hour later, there was a loud banging on my door. He was furious. Iris Thorne, what are you doing? Don't you know that because of what you posted? Not only am I embarrassed, but Chloe's depression has relapsed, and she's trying to kill herself. Depression. This Chloe really wouldn't miss a single opportunity to play the victim. She even used such a painful illness as a tool to gain sympathy and seduce men. I was just clarifying the facts. He wouldn't listen to my explanation. Does clarification have to be so dramatic? Don't you know how many people are cyberbullying her now? You need to go and apologize immediately. With that, he was about to grab my hand. Apologize? What are you talking about? If she hadn't slandered me online, would I have had to clarify? This is all her own doing. She wanted to ruin me with public opinion, so she shouldn't blame me for fighting back. Iris Thorne, how did you become like this? Even if she did something wrong, did it cause you any real harm? She's trying to kill herself now. If she really dies, you'll be a murderer. If she wants to kill herself, let her. I'm not apologizing. A selfish person like her would never kill herself. Only a fool like him would believe her. He stared at me. Fine. Don't you regret this? He left in a rage. Not long after, there was another reversal online. This time, he came forward to clarify, resolutely siding with her. He said to the camera, Chloe and I have always been innocent. We have never done anything inappropriate. This is all because of Iris Thorne's baseless accusations. Not only did she misinterpret our relationship, but she also bullied her at the company several times. Chloe only did what she did because she was pushed to her limit. She was wrong, but she was forced. Iris Thorne, Chloe's depression has relapsed because of you. She wanted to jump off a building. If I hadn't gotten there in time, she would be dead. You must apologize and take responsibility. Seeing this, I laughed. But as I laughed, I started to cry. I swore this was the last time I would cry for him. No, I was crying for our relationship. I contacted my lawyer. Released the videos. The videos from the bar, from the house, and the things she had said when she found me, all proved my innocence. He had cheated, and she had destroyed a relationship, and I was the victim from beginning to end. Netizens are not fools. They can't be manipulated so easily. This Chloe is such a green tea bitch. She was clearly trying to provoke Iris. Don't give childhood friends a bad name. My childhood friend and I don't kiss. Especially not in front of our significant others. Oh, and we don't get pregnant. You call that just friends. They have a child together. Scumbag and a homewrecker. Stop trying to clean up your mess. If just friends can kiss and have a child, then I've been living under a rock. I turned off my phone and went to stay at Maya's. This time, he wouldn't be able to find me. He and Chloe wanted to destroy me. This was the consequence they had to bear. Maya hugged me. Iris. Netizens are not fools. They'll tear them apart this time. By the way, Julian's company stock has plummeted. With all this evidence, let's see how they try to slander you now. He couldn't find me, but his parents called my phone. His mother's voice came through. Iris. You and Julian have known each other for so many years. You practically grew up together. How could you do this? This will ruin him. You need to go online and clarify immediately. Just say it was all because you were jealous. And spread the news of your engagement to suppress this. As for the child in Chloe's belly, we'll raise him after she gives birth. Don't worry. We'll send her away so she won't bother you. No matter what. That is still our family's blood. We can't let him be raised outside. I believe you can understand. Ma'am, I don't understand. If it were your husband who had a woman and an illegitimate child on the side, would you be so generous as to raise the child yourself? His mother was speechless. I hung up and blocked and deleted all numbers and contacts related to him. Maya gave me a thumb up. Good job. That night, I was curled up in her bed, scrolling through the online comments. To my surprise, I saw some of the company's employees. They came forward one by one, further confirming the story. I'm an employee at his company. I've already decided to resign. If it weren't for Miss Thorne, I would have left long ago. Today, I'm going to give you all some real dirt. This Chloe is a homewrecker. She posted the chat logs from the work group and Chloe's social media posts. Her words were all about solidifying her relationship with him, wanting to replace me. More and more people came forward. I noticed one netizen. She wasn't talking about the present, but about Chloe's dark past. But not many people paid attention. I immediately contacted her and got her phone number. When I called, a woman's voice answered. Miss Thorne. I was also a victim of her. I never thought she would still be doing this. I can't just stand by and watch you go through the same thing. I have evidence of her past. I'll send it to you now. I guarantee it's real. This netizen once had a very loving boyfriend. They were a perfect match in every way. They were even about to get married. But then she appeared. She not only seduced her boyfriend, but also posted her private photos online. The netizen reported it to the police. But she had used someone else to upload them. And that person was a computer expert. The police couldn't catch them. With insufficient evidence, the case was dropped. Because of those photos, the netizen was publicly shamed. Even her family and friends abandoned her. It was a very dark time. She tried to commit suicide several times. But thankfully, she didn't succeed. Now she was all alone, living in the South. But thankfully, fate had been kind to her. She had met some like-minded friends, and now they ran a guest house together. Life was good. Miss Thorne. I will never be able to forgive her. I have other victims here. But back then, the internet wasn't as developed. No one saw our posts. Now, I hope you can help. I knew they also had their own motives. They didn't want to come forward themselves, afraid of trouble. So they came to me. But I could understand. After all, I really needed their evidence. She then sent me a lot of photos and videos. Although they were a bit blurry, you could tell it was her. Even the mole on her neck was the same. In every photo and video, she was with a different man. And even years ago, she was already a master of the Green Tea Act, using it to ruin countless couples. Most importantly, she was suspected of fraud. The men she chose always had a bit of money. She would use her beauty and her act to get them to spend money on her. When they were eager to get married, she would find an excuse to break up with them. Her father died. Her mother died. She had to marry a childhood sweetheart. The lies were endless. Maya was dumbfounded. This Chloe is a professional scammer. This is not just a moral issue. It's a crime. You need to post this online immediately. She won't be able to get out of this. No. I refused. If I posted it now, who knows if she would do something desperate and come after me. A person that evil is capable of anything. I would wait until I had left, then expose everything. By then, even if she wanted to find me, she wouldn't be able to. The engagement party was the perfect time. I wanted him to see the kind of woman he had been protecting. There were 6 days until the engagement party. I decided to contact the men she had scammed first. They deserved it, but she shouldn't escape their punishment either. It takes a villain to catch a villain. A lesson I had only recently learned. There were 4 days left until I left the country, and 5 days until the engagement party. The online public opinion had reached its peak. She didn't dare to go out. He, worried something would happen to her, had to stay with her. With no time to come looking for me, she was crying her eyes out. Julian, don't stop me. I really don't want to live anymore. Everyone is cursing me online. My relatives and friends must all know. Sob, sob, sob. What should I do? How can I live? I probably can't even get married anymore. Julian, no one will want me. He was getting tired of her constant drama. A little crying was pitiful, but a lot was just noise. Chloe, stop crying. I'll go to Iris and have her clarify everything. Then it will be fine. If she still wants to marry me, she has to listen to me. She looked at him. Okay, then you go. As soon as he left, she immediately found a small knife and cut her wrist. The wound wasn't deep. The bleeding stopped quickly. She went out and bought some fake blood, mixed it together, and stained the entire bathtub red. She changed into a very innocent white gauze dress, lay in the bathtub, and set a timer on her phone to send a text message. 10 minutes later, the message was sent. When he saw the message, his face changed. He rushed back. When he got home, he saw her, unconscious in the bathtub. The sight was all red. The smell of blood filled the air. He was so scared he picked her up and ran out. Chloe, don't die. She woke up at the right moment and said weakly, Julian, don't save me. A person like me can only be alone for the rest of my life. What's the point of living? Julian, my last wish is for you to be happy with my sister-in-law forever. She closed her eyes again, her arm falling limply. He was overwhelmed with guilt. Chloe, don't die. Wake up. I'll marry you. You won't be alone for the rest of your life. The day of my departure was finally here. I had packed all my luggage, ready to go abroad with nothing but myself. My parents and Maya came to see me off. My mother's eyes were red. You have to take good care of yourself over there, and call home from time to time. Okay, I will. Mom, don't worry. It's not as safe abroad as it is here. But I won't be running around. I'll mostly be at the university and the lab. It will be fine. My father handed me a bank card. If you run out of money, let us know. Don't be frugal. Eat well and live well over there. Thanks, Dad. I took it, or he wouldn't be at ease. Maya also had a farewell gift, a protective amulet she had personally prayed for. With this, you will be safe and sound. I'll be waiting for you. We'll see each other again in 3 years. If I have time, I'll come and visit you. It was time to board. I waved and went through security. It wasn't until I was on the plane that the tears finally fell. Not because of him, but because of my loving family and friends. In 3 years, I would return, a brand new person, to see them again. By then, we would all be better. The plane took off. I closed my eyes. When we landed, it was already night. The nights in the UK were a bit cold. As I walked out of security, I saw a tall, handsome man holding a sign with my name on it. Seeing him, I was extremely surprised. Leo, you're here too. My senior brother, Leo Jiang, and I were once students at the same university. He was a year ahead of me, but in my junior year, he went abroad. I never thought he would be in the same country as me, and even under the same professor. He smiled faintly. Yes, I've been here for 2 years. Why are you wearing so little? The temperature here is not like at home. He took off his own coat and gallantly draped it over my shoulders. Come on. I drove. I'll take you to the university now. The car was warm and filled with soothing music. He gave me a rundown of the current situation. The new project should have started already, but the professor had applied for an extension to wait for me. There were 3 students under the professor, and with me, there were 4. Only the 2 of us were from the same hometown. The other 2 were British. The professor has arranged for a university apartment for you, right next to mine. If you need anything, you can come and find me. Thank you, Leo. At the apartment, it was better than I expected, although not large. It was very cozy and had everything I needed. He helped me with my luggage. I've already cleaned your room, and the sheets are new. You can go straight to bed. You must be tired after such a long flight. Get some rest. I'll show you around the university tomorrow. I thanked him but had no desire to sleep. It was daytime in my home country, and it was supposed to be the time of my and Julian's engagement party. I took out my phone. Half an hour ago, Maya had sent me a message. The engagement party starts in an hour. That shameless Julian has actually replaced your photo with Chloe's. He's getting engaged to her. That scumbag. I'm going to go up there and slap him. I started a video call. She answered quickly. The background was indeed the engagement party. I was all too familiar with it, because I had chosen the venue, the wedding planning company, and even where every single flower should be placed. And now, all of it was for someone else. Maya's voice came through. Look who's here. She moved the phone. I saw a few men standing in a corner. They looked grim. Clearly here to cause trouble. Weren't those the men Chloe had scammed before? Now I was even more excited. 20 minutes later, the engagement party officially began. Seeing that it was Chloe on stage, whispers broke out below. Isn't Julian supposed to be getting engaged to Iris? Why is it someone else? You don't know. This Julian got involved with the woman on stage. Iris called it off. What? There's such a thing. I have to go online and check this out. He and Chloe stood on stage, gazing at each other. Julian, I'm finally going to marry you. Did you know? I've liked you since I was a child. For over 10 years. It's never changed. The boyfriend I had in college was just to make you jealous. To get you to confess to me. But you didn't. After that, I never dated again. Because no one was as good as you. He was very moved. Chloe, I've always liked you too. I'm so happy to be able to marry you. The guests below were still polite enough to applaud. But the next second, the lights suddenly went out. Then, a series of photos and videos began to play on the screen. The male lead was constantly changing. But there was only one female lead. Chloe. Her expression was dazed. Her clothes sexy. Her makeup heavy and garish. A complete contrast to her innocent look now. There was also a picture of her holding a cigarette. A complete delinquent. Her face turned pale. She rushed forward like a madwoman. Stop it. Stop it. Julian. This is all fake. It's photoshopped. I know. It must be Iris trying to frame me. He stood there, his face ugly, but he didn't believe she would be that kind of person. It must be a setup. Iris Thorne. Where are you? Come out. Chloe is already like this. Are you still trying to frame her? How could you be so vicious? Of course I wouldn't appear. But those men went on stage. Seeing that they were the same people from the photos, the crowd erupted. This looks like the people from the photos. Right. They're here in person. It must be real. I never thought this Chloe looked so innocent. But she's so wild. The men looked at her with anger. Chloe, you ruined my relationship with my girlfriend. Then took my money and ran. You even said your mother died and you had to go back for the funeral. And that you had to mourn for 3 years and couldn't get married. Then who is that person down there? The man pointed to her mother. Her mother's face was flushed. She could only cover her face so no one would see her. Another man stepped forward. Chloe, if it weren't for you, my fiancé and I would have been married long ago. You got me drunk and said I assaulted you. And made me give you a large sum of money. But I never even touched you. It was all your own act. I've already reported it to the police. You ruined me. And I will definitely not let you go. Chloe, you said you would marry me. And what happened? You said your father died. And you had to go back to mourn. I see your father is alive and well. Now, with both human and material evidence. She couldn't deny it. She collapsed onto the ground. It's not like that. Her parents couldn't take it anymore. They stood up. We don't have such a daughter. Chloe, you have brought shame upon our family. Don't come back. We'll consider you dead. He stepped forward, raised his hand, and slapped her hard across the face. You bitch. How dare you lie to me? Didn't you say you only had one boyfriend? And that you always loved me? I was supposed to marry Iris. It's all because of you. She covered her face, sobbing. Julian, I did do those things in the past, but I really do love you. That's the truth. She touched her stomach. Have you forgotten? We have a child. This is our child. A man reminded him. Julian, that child might not be yours. If you don't believe me, just look at her phone. Besides you, she's been stringing along several other men. He rushed forward like a madman to grab her phone. She didn't want to give it to him, but she was no match for him. He opened her phone and saw the explicit chat logs. He felt as if he had been plunged into an icy abyss. Fake. It was all fake. Her love was fake. Her suicide was fake. Because she was bragging to someone else about how she had used fake blood to trick him. And the day before their engagement, she was still with another man. He was furious. He kicked her hard in the stomach. You bitch. How dare you lie to me? She clutched her stomach and cried out in pain. Blood trickled down her legs, shocking the crowd. Quick. Call a doctor. She's bleeding. What a disaster. How did a good engagement party turn into this? She deserved it. Who told her to play with other people's feelings? The hotel, afraid of taking responsibility, had already called for an ambulance. Maya was amazed. This is so exciting. My God. A TV show couldn't be this dramatic. Iris. I've really seen a great show. I've already recorded it. I'll post it online later. The engagement party ended in a farce. She was taken to the hospital. He got into a fight with the other men and couldn't be separated until the police arrived. I turned off my phone. Now I could finally get a good night's sleep. The next day, at 10, I finally woke up, feeling refreshed. I hadn't slept so well in a long time. I thought I would have to deal with jet lag, but I didn't need to at all. This is what it feels like to be free of burdens. I quickly got ready and opened the door. To my surprise, the door across the hall also opened. Leo looked at me and smiled faintly. Do you want breakfast? I've already made it. I was just waiting for you. Thank you, Leo. His apartment had the same layout as mine, but it was barely decorated and felt very empty. On the table were 3 dishes and a soup. Very exquisite. I had expected at most a sandwich, or some other simple breakfast, but I never thought it would be a Chinese meal. Since you're here today, I made a little extra. I hope you like it. A man who can cook is undoubtedly charming. Not to mention he was so handsome. There must be a lot of people chasing after him. I picked up my chopsticks and took a bite. A savory, fresh flavor filled my mouth. Delicious. Your cooking is amazing, Leo. He served me a bowl of porridge. If you like it, eat more. After breakfast, Leo and I walked around the campus. This was a very old and prestigious university, consistently ranked in the top 10 in the world. It was a dream for many. I was only here because of my professor's high regard for me. He introduced me to the campus. That's the cafeteria. This is the academic building. And the one you see now is the lab building. We're usually here. The university has given us a separate lab, fully equipped. We usually don't have to go out for anything. Just then, a handsome, blonde, blue-eyed foreign student walked over. Yo, Leo, you didn't come to my party yesterday. Was it to pick up this beautiful lady next to you? Yes. This is my junior. If there's a chance, I'll bring her to your party next time. The handsome guy teased. What junior? I think she's your girlfriend. But you're right. You don't look good with those other girls. But you look perfect with her. I could understand their conversation and felt a little awkward. Seeing this, he led me away. Don't mind what Charles says. He's just a joker. Besides that, he's a great guy. You're new here. You need to make some friends. Otherwise, if you run into any trouble, you won't have anyone to help you. Charles' social circle is very clean and high-end. It'll take you to meet them later. If you can make a few more friends, it will be very good for you. I thanked him and offered to treat him to lunch. After touring the campus, it was just noon. We went to the cafeteria together. The cafeteria here was a buffet. As long as you paid a certain amount, you could eat on different floors. He had helped me a lot, so I naturally had to treat him to the best. The high-end buffet happened to have Chinese food, and it was very good. He put down his knife and fork. The professor will be back tomorrow. You can come with me to the lab today to get familiar with it. When he comes back tomorrow, you can start right away. Okay. Next, we went to the lab. Perhaps I was too busy, or perhaps my thirst for knowledge had been reignited. For the whole day, I didn't think about him once. It was as if he had really become a passerby in my life. Back at the apartment, I took out my phone and saw a photo and a message from Maya. After the engagement party yesterday, she was sent to the hospital due to a severe blow to her abdomen. She had lost the baby. According to normal procedures, he should have been arrested for assault, but she had agreed to a settlement. And since they were engaged, he was only given a warning and let go. But after he got out, he didn't care about her at all. The first thing he did was to come and find me. Maya's voice was full of contempt. That Julian came to your house with flowers and a diamond ring, knelt on the ground and proposed. It's ridiculous. After treating you like that, he still wants you back. He's dreaming. A trash man like that should stay in the trash can. No, he should be locked up with that Chloe, so he doesn't harm any other women. I had guessed he would do that, because among all the women he could get, I was undoubtedly the best. It was just that Chloe was his unattainable first love, which is why she had surpassed me. When the first love turned into a grain of rice, my pigeon's blood once again became a cinnabar mole. I realized it was late at night in Maya's time, so I didn't call. Don't worry about him. To my surprise, she called me right away. There are some things that are better said than typed. I have to tell you in person. Do you know what happened to that Chloe now? He didn't just ignore her. She's still in the hospital. And she can't pay the bills. The men she scammed are all waiting for her at the hospital. They even went to her hometown. But her family has disowned her. I heard her parents couldn't stand the gossip and have already moved. And they're even selling the house. Now she's really like a rat in the sewer. Hated by everyone. I was completely calm about this. What happened to her had nothing to do with me anymore. She deserved the consequences. The wicked should be punished, so that the world can be a fairer place. Maya continued. I think he's going to go to your house every day now. I was a little worried. It's not good for him to be harassing my parents like that. They still have to work. And they can't just leave. Maya, can I ask you a favor? I've actually already rented an apartment. Can you convince my parents to move there? Actually, I had already thought of this. But my parents had refused to leave. Now that I was gone, I could only ask her for help. Leave it to me. I'll definitely convince them to move. Wait for my message. Okay, I'm going to sleep. I have to work tomorrow. I need to save up so I can come and visit you in the UK. My heart was warm. You don't have to save up. Just come. I'll pay for everything. I've given a lot over the years, but I've also gotten something in return. I sold my shares to him before I left, for a full 500,000. So much. Then I'll have to eat you out of house and home. After hanging up, I thought for a moment and then opened the surveillance app on my phone. The video showed the familiar home, our love nest, but now it was dirty and messy. The floor was littered with empty bottles. He was sprawled on the sofa, his clothes unchanged, his hair a little greasy, and a stubble on his face. When I was there, even if he was drunk, I would have struggled to get him to bed, gently taken off his clothes, and washed him up. Now without me, he had become a helpless man-child. I was about to turn off the monitor when I heard his voice. Iris. I looked. He wasn't awake. He was just talking in his sleep. He used to talk in his sleep before, but he would always call her name. I used to wish so much that he would call my name in his dreams. Now my dream had come true, but I wasn't happy or sad. I just felt calm. He could no longer stir my heart. The next day, my professor returned. I hugged the cute little old man tightly. Professor, thank you. Little Iris. No need for thanks. I'm so glad you're back. With you on my project, it will surely be even better. After that, I immersed myself in my studies. The daily learning didn't make me feel tired at all. On the contrary, it was very fulfilling. Leo and I were in the same group. He truly lived up to his reputation as the school's star senior. He was excellent in every aspect. Besides being tall and handsome, he was also very skilled in the lab. Some of the experimental data I couldn't handle, he would help me with. Unconsciously, a month passed. I had completely forgotten about him and had become the sunny, cheerful person I used to be. At the end of an experiment, Leo took off his lab coat and put it in the sterilizer. Charles is having a party tonight. He specifically asked me to bring you. Okay, then I'll have to trouble you. Leo. He was offering me a ladder up. I wouldn't be so foolish as to refuse. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. The theme of this party is pajamas. Remember to dress up. Or according to the culture here, it will be considered disrespectful to the host. Okay, a pajama party. I had heard of them before, but I never thought I would actually attend one. I went back and rummaged through my closet, finally finding one set of pajamas I could wear out. I thought for a moment, then put on a matching headband and some makeup before leaving the apartment. As soon as I opened the door, I froze. He was standing across the hall, leaning against the wall. He was wearing a bathrobe, open at the top, revealing a muscular chest and the top 4 of his abs, the other 4 hidden below. He was actually wearing something so sexy. He looked at me, up and down. If you dress like that, people will say you're a schoolgirl. Then what should I do? This is all I have. I'll help you. He walked over. Don't misunderstand. If you really want to make friends, you can't be too reserved. That's all I mean. He helped me roll up my pajama pants and unbuttoned one of my pajama tops. This is much better. Not too revealing, but not too conservative either. Don't worry. It's just a simple party. Nothing will happen. I nodded and followed him to the car. The party was held on the top floor of a villa. The lights were dim. A pool was surrounded by drinks, and a DJ was setting the mood. The men and women inside were all in pajamas. It was just as he had said. I was dressed too conservatively. If he hadn't helped me, I would have really been a joke. The only schoolgirl there. Charles greeted us warmly. Oh, my Leo, you're finally here. And this beautiful lady. You have a great figure. Hello, Charles. My name is Iris. Iris. Am I pronouncing that right? Come on in. We were just waiting for you. Charles introduced me to his friends. They were all very friendly and eagerly pulled me in to join them. To be honest, I hadn't been so relaxed in a long time. Unconsciously, I completely let loose. We all sat by the pool, swaying to the music, drinking and singing. He was always by my side. I could see him whenever I turned around, which made me feel very safe. The drinks were sweet, and I unknowingly drank a lot. By the time I realized something was wrong, it was too late. The world was spinning, and my body was hot. He supported me. You've had too much to drink, Charles. I'm sorry. She's a lightweight. We're going to head out now. We'll come back next time. Okay. Take the beautiful Miss Iris home. I'm also sorry. I didn't consider her tolerance. Next time, I'll prepare some very low alcohol cocktails. I got in the car with him. The cold wind made my head spin even more. I leaned on his shoulder and, without realizing it, started to think about the past. Did you know? I gave everything to Julian. We were together for so many years. I helped him get investments, helped him generate profits, but all he ever thought about was Chloe. Now that I've left, he's coming back to find me. But what's the use of that? His jaw was tense. You've had too much to drink. I continued to talk, and without realizing it, tears started to fall. Was I not in pain? I had just suppressed it deep down. Now, with the help of the alcohol, I couldn't hold it back anymore and let it all out. He helped me out of the car. Can you walk on your own? I looked at his face. No. Julian, you bastard. How could a scumbag like you deserve a good girl like me? I was so blind to have fallen for you. Okay, I'm a bastard. He helplessly carried me on his back and took me back to the apartment. He threw me on the bed. I was uncomfortable and pulled at my clothes. I don't like to sleep with clothes on. He took a deep breath. You can take them off yourself. I'm leaving. No. Don't go. I sobbed softly. Don't go. I'm so sad. My heart hurts so much. Why did you do this to me? I thought if I treated someone with a sincere heart, I would get their sincere heart in return. But I didn't. I grabbed his hand. Don't go. Help me take off my clothes. I feel so uncomfortable. He was silent for a moment, then pulled up the covers, covering me. His hand went under the covers. A moment later, he pulled out my pajamas. Before he left, he thoughtfully poured me a glass of water. When I woke up again, it was 7 in the morning. My head was splitting, my mouth was dry, and the misery of a hangover filled my body. I sat up, the covers slipped, and a sudden chill ran through me. I looked down. Where were my clothes? What happened to my clothes? I quickly pulled the covers back up, but I couldn't remember anything from last night. Right. I have a surveillance camera. The UK is a bit chaotic. So, for safety, besides the one at the door, I also installed one in my home, just in case someone tried to sneak in when I wasn't there. I opened the surveillance footage. When I saw what was on the screen, I wanted to strangle myself. Oh my God. What did I do? I asked him to take off my clothes, and I clung to him, not letting him leave. I also cried about everything that had happened between me and Julian. This was so embarrassing. If you were to be technical about it, this was already harassment. I had no idea how I was going to face him. Alcohol is truly a terrible thing. Fortunately, I didn't do anything else, or I would have wanted to die. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Iris, are you up? I made some porridge. You should have some, or it will be hard for you to get through today's experiments. I looked at the time. It was already so late. I had to go to the lab soon. I gritted my teeth, got dressed, and opened the door. He acted as if nothing had happened, walking in with ease and placing the porridge on the dining table. These are my own pickled vegetables. You can have them with the porridge. When you're done eating, come out. I'll be waiting for you at the door. We can go to the lab together. I was so awkward I didn't know where to put my hands. About last night. I'm sorry. I never thought I would be like that when I'm drunk. Please don't take it to heart. I promise I won't drink that much again. He raised an eyebrow. I actually thought it was quite cute. Now, eat up. I don't remember anything. With that, he walked out the door. I stood alone in the dining room, thinking about what he had said. Cute. Was that a compliment? Or an insult? After eating, I went back to the lab, wanting to throw myself into my work. But whenever he got close, I couldn't stop thinking about last night. He had a faint scent of laundry detergent, different from everyone else. It was hard to ignore. Why are you daydreaming again? If you keep this up, you're going to ruin what you're working on. He helplessly took my hand and placed the petri dish in the incubator. You can't be distracted when you're doing experiments. I quickly pulled my hand away. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful. I was distracted all day and went back to the apartment early. It wasn't too late in my home country. I thought about it and called Maya. I desperately needed someone to give me some advice, to tell me how to forget about last night's embarrassing incident, or how to just grow a thicker skin. She answered quickly. In the video, she was wearing a face mask. Before I could speak, she immediately started talking excitedly. I was just waiting for you to call. Let me tell you, Julian is going crazy, looking for you everywhere. A lot of people are just waiting to see him make a fool of himself. His family told him to stop, but he won't listen. Now his family can't be bothered with him either. He really should have known better. It's his own fault. I had no feelings for him now. It was probably because I had cried that one night that I had really let go. Maya, I don't care about him. Something happened to me. I described what had happened last night. Maya, what should I do now? I can't face my senior brother. I can't even do my experiments properly. Is there any way I can forget about this? Or just become more thick-skinned? She sat up straight. Actually, the solution is simple. You two didn't do anything. Why are you so hung up on it? You have to remember, you're not at home anymore. You're abroad. People there walk around in their underwear all the time. Some don't even wear underwear. They're not afraid of being seen. So, what are you afraid of? Besides, you didn't even see anything. Right. But I can't get over it. I still felt strange. Very awkward. She looked at me intently. Wait a minute. You don't like him, do you? You only act like this when you like someone. Get real. I don't like any men right now. I had just gotten out of the mess with him. How could I be so quick to fall for someone else? My feelings for Leo were more of gratitude. A pure friendship. Nothing else. She took off her mask, revealing her pretty face. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's only embarrassing when you've slept together. Just think that he didn't see anything. There's another good way. Just take a couple of days off. When you go back, you'll find it's no big deal. No matter how embarrassing something is. After a while, it won't be a problem. Or you could watch some porn. See how open people are. I couldn't help but roll my eyes. Stop giving me bad ideas. Since she couldn't help, I had to drop it. She then brought up him again. That Chloe got out of the hospital. She's so shameless. She's actually started live streaming. But strangely enough, she's gained a lot of followers. What kind of people are these? To follow a streamer like that? I didn't understand either. The world is a big place. Ever since the internet became so developed, I've realized there are a lot of weirdos out there. After hanging up, I thought for a moment and then opened a social media app from my home country. I found her live stream. She was wearing very innocent makeup, sitting in front of the screen. When she saw someone send a gift, she immediately made a heart shape with her hands. Thank you for the rocket. Big brother. Love you. Most of the comments were about how pretty she was, but there were also a lot of abusive ones. But she didn't care. Instead, she used the insults to play the victim. I just got together with them and told a few lies. It's not like I committed a heinous crime. How many good people are there in this world? Some look so innocent, like a good student. But who knows what they're like in private? I was just exposed for my private life. If everyone's private life was put on display, I'm sure it wouldn't be much different from mine. Hearing my name, I felt a wave of disgust. I looked at the comments. Sure enough, people were starting to curse me. They were all her fans, unable to distinguish right from wrong. I clicked on her profile and saw that every post was either her playing the victim or preaching some grand philosophy, trying to act like she had turned over a new leaf. But every post also contained a subtle jab at me. I had already left the country, but she still wouldn't let me go, clinging to me like a leech. In that case, she shouldn't blame me for being ruthless. I switched to another account and typed, "One rocket. Take off one piece of clothing." She saw my comment and bit her lip. Big brother. How can you say that? I'm just live streaming, chatting with everyone. I'm not here to make money. You can't insult me like that. It's not right. I continued to type. 2 rockets. Take off 1 piece of clothing. She was clearly wavering, but still shook her head. No. 3 rockets. Take off 1 piece of clothing. No. I went straight to 10 rockets. After the platform's cut, she would still get a few $1,000s for just taking off 1 piece of clothing. It was a great deal. She gritted her teeth and agreed. I immediately typed, "So you're in it for the money." With that, I stopped typing. The fans in the comments section also realized what was happening. Chloe, didn't you say you weren't here for the money? Then why did you agree to take off your clothes for 10 rockets? You even told us that a woman's body is priceless, but you put a price on yours. Sure enough, a bitch is a bitch. She can't change. Give me back my rocket money. These male fans, besides being attracted to her looks, also liked to see a fallen woman redeem herself. It's been like that throughout history. When she became a better person, it gave them a sense of accomplishment. And now I had torn away that hypocritical mask, telling them that she was still a money-grubbing person. For the right price, she would do more than just take off her clothes. She started to cry in the live stream, but no one believed her anymore. I immediately reported her. How could a person like that be a streamer? She was just a bad influence. Not long after, her live stream was shut down. I also turned off my phone and went to sleep comfortably. When I woke up the next day, I opened my phone as usual. It should be night in my home country. Maya had sent me a lot of messages and a video. In the video, she was kneeling on the ground, begging me to let her go. She was crying so hard it was heartbreaking. Iris Thorne, please, let me go. I haven't gone looking for Julian anymore. I've already been publicly shamed and paid the price. What more do you want? Do you have to drive me to my death? Many people who didn't know the truth were siding with her, accusing me of being too harsh. Even if you're going to kill someone, you should do it quickly. Why torture her like this? This Chloe really doesn't learn. Why does she always have to provoke me? I immediately called my lawyer. Chloe took my family heirloom jade bracelet, worth $20,000. Report it to the police. You can handle it for me. Oh, and she also took a lot of other things from my house. You have the receipts. Actually, I hadn't planned on taking it this far. She had hurt me, and she was wrong. But I thought the bigger fault was with him. He was my boyfriend. He should have cherished and loved me. But he sided with her. If it weren't for his indulgence, how could she have had the opportunity to hurt me? So I just ruined her reputation. I never really intended for her to go to jail. As for the heirloom bracelet, I would get it back sooner or later. But she kept challenging my bottom line. So I had no choice but to grant her her wish. The lawyer quickly reported it to the police on my behalf, because she was suspected of embezzlement and theft, with a large sum involved. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison. The heirloom and other jewelry were all recovered and are now with Maya. After resolving this matter, I threw myself back into my experiments. I tried my best to avoid him, so I could be more comfortable. A month later, it snowed in the UK. He was standing at the end of the corridor. Iris, you've been avoiding me lately. In the morning, you use the excuse of waking up late to not eat with me, not go to the lab with me. At noon, you use the excuse of not being hungry. At night, you use the excuse of having to stay late. You really don't want to be in the same group with me. If that's the case, then I'll tell the professor I'm quitting. I can't let my presence affect you. That's not what I want. No, it's not like that. I didn't know what to say. He walked up to me. Is it still because of that night? Yes. I'm so embarrassed. I don't know how to face you. Every time I see you, I think of what happened that night. He was helpless. Then how can you stop thinking about it? I can't. I can't control my own brain. He was silent for a moment. I have an idea. Come with me. He took my hand and led me to the apartment. Now there's a way to completely solve your problem. I looked at him, confused. What way? Be with me. If we're dating, then what happened that night is nothing. Couples can do much more intimate things. I was stunned and took 2 steps back. Are you kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm serious. Iris Thorne, will you be my girlfriend? No, I want. You don't have to make such a big sacrifice for me. It's not a sacrifice. I like you. He looked at me, his tone very serious. I had a crush on you in college, but it was just a crush. So I didn't confess. I had a better opportunity and went abroad. But I never thought that after all this time, we would meet again. Under the same professor. In the same group. I think it's fate. You're single. I'm single. This time. I didn't control my feelings. My feelings for you went from a crush to liking you. That night you cried. I was really heartbroken. When you asked me to help you take off your clothes, I was shamefully aroused. All of this proves that I really like you. I shut the door on him, because I was not at all ready to start a new relationship. Or rather, I had no preparation, and no such thoughts. I asked the professor for 2 days off, planning to go out on my own. The streets in the UK are very old, with European architecture everywhere, a completely different style from my home country. As I was walking, I accidentally got lost. There was a coffee shop nearby, so I went in to sit for a while. Go where you go, see what you see. Sometimes, that's a kind of fun in itself. I wandered around like this for a day and finally returned to the university. At the main gate stood a person I did not expect to see. When he saw me, he excitedly came forward. Iris, I finally found you. He knelt on one knee, holding a bouquet of slightly withered roses. Iris, please marry me. I really can't live without you. I know I did a lot of wrong things, but I swear, I will never do them again. From now on, you will be the only one in my heart. If I don't, may I die a horrible death. Iris, I will give you a grand wedding and invite everyone to witness our love. A crowd of students gathered around. Some who didn't know the situation were cheering. Say yes. I looked at him, my heart filled with disgust. It was over between us long ago. You should go. No, I'm not leaving. Iris, we have so many years of history. How could you have moved on so quickly? You must still love me in your heart. Just say yes. Iris, marry me. A round of applause broke out. Marry him. Marry him. A large hand wrapped around my shoulder. I turned my head and saw him. He looked at Julian coldly. She is my girlfriend now. You two have broken up. Please do not harass her, or I will call the police immediately, and you will be deported. We are students here and are protected by the law. You will never be able to enter this country again. The protection for university students here is very strict. No one can harm them, not even with harassment. He looked at us in disbelief. I don't believe it. Iris, you just broke up with me. How could you be with him? This is fake. You deliberately got a fake boyfriend to provoke me, didn't you? I pulled his hand and stood on my toes, kissing him on the lips. Do you believe me now? Now get lost. His face gradually became ferocious. He threw down the flowers and lunged at me. You are mine. You can only be mine. How can you be with someone else? He was ruthless. He kicked him away. Call the police. Because he had attempted to harm me. He was deported and would never be able to come back. For the next 2 years, I could study here in peace. After that day, when he pretended to be my boyfriend, we went back to our old relationship. More than friends, less than lovers. In the second year, Maya and my parents came to the UK to visit me. I happily took them to see the sights, but I didn't know much about the area myself. So in the end, I had to ask him for help. He ended up being our tour guide for the whole trip. After dinner, my mother came over and whispered, I think this one is good. My father nodded. Yes. He looks much better than that Julian. Your mother and I never liked him. You should trust our judgment. Maya also chimed in. He's a really good man. Indeed, he was good. Outstanding in every way. You could say he was the best man I had ever met. But I was still afraid. We'll see. If he can pursue me for 3 years, I'll be with him. But I doubt he can last that long. Time flies. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had passed. I had finally finished my research and could go back to my home country for a long break. I could also choose to live there. With my experience from a prestigious university, I could pick and choose from any company. He also returned with me and even took a teaching position at the same university. I chose to become a professor, not because my parents were in that profession, but because I liked it. The circle is clean enough and interesting enough. Compared to other jobs, teaching gives me a greater sense of accomplishment. Another year passed. He appeared at my door without any warning. It's been exactly 3 years. What? From the day you said at the restaurant that if I pursued you for 3 years, you would agree to be with me, to today. It's been exactly 3 years. I've been waiting for this day. Will you be with me? I looked at my phone. Sure enough, I saw the group photo from that trip, taken 3 years ago today. Not a single day was off. Even the time was the same. Seeing him so serious, it was impossible not to be moved. I took the flowers from his hand. Okay, I agree. He held me in his arms. I've been waiting for this day for 3 years. No, for more than 4 years. You're finally mine. We officially started dating. We went to work together, taught together, rested together, and ate together. In short, we did everything together. He was not like Julian, with countless social engagements and a childhood friend. He was so clean he was almost an anomaly. Besides me, there was no one else in his life. His parents were abroad. In this country, he only had me, my mother. Seeing that we weren't getting married, couldn't help but stand up for him. How much longer are you going to drag this out? He's so good to you, and you're still not satisfied. Mom, I'm not unsatisfied. I just don't want to get married. I'm not rushing you to get married. But even if you don't want to get married, you should give him some closure, don't you think? How about this? You can get engaged first. It doesn't have to be a big deal. We can just have a family dinner. His parents are abroad. We can go there. It will be a nice little trip. Aren't you two on break? It's settled. My parents had already planned everything. They didn't give me a chance to refuse. The next day, they had even booked the plane tickets. I had no choice but to go with him and my parents. His parents were very reasonable and very supportive of our relationship. An engagement is fine. Whether you get married or not is up to you young people. As long as you're happy together, that's all that matters. We're not in a hurry for grandchildren. If you don't want to have children, then don't. You can live your lives as a couple forever. They were so open-minded that it made me feel a little embarrassed. He held my hand. Mom, Dad, it's all up to Iris. Whenever she wants to get married, well, get married. If she never wants to get married, then I'll never get married. After that dinner, I felt a little strange. Leo, do you want to get married? He nodded honestly. I do. I dream about it. Not because I want to get married, but because the person I want to marry is you. Every day we're not married. I'm afraid. I'm afraid someone else will snatch you away. I couldn't help but laugh. I'm not that great. If anything, I should be the one who's afraid of you being snatched away. No, you don't know how wonderful you are. He held me. You're studious, curious, resilient, and kind. You're beautiful. You have a great figure. You have so many good qualities. In my eyes, your only flaw is that you haven't married me yet. They say that when you love someone, you see them through rose-colored glasses. I always thought that was fake, but his eyes told me that what he said was true, not just empty words. I held his strong waist tightly. When I'm ready, we'll get married. Another 2 years passed. On an unremarkable, sunny summer day, I took his hand. Come on, let's go get our license. What? I said. Let's get married. His eyes turned red. Okay, you're finally willing to marry me. Come on. You can't back out this time. We had no wedding, no grand proposal, just two hearts coming together, and a little red book. He couldn't help but take a picture of the marriage certificate and post it on his social media. From today on, I have a wife, one house, 2 people, 3 meals a day, for seasons.